Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today we're going to be taking it back to basics kind of and talking about the best BHAs, beta hydroxy acids for your skin. I am redoing a video I've already done a couple of years back maybe now, but it's time for an update. What are BHAs? Where do they belong in your routine? Do you even need to use them? And if so, what one's best for you? So you may have heard all of this before or just has specific questions, so please feel free to use the chapter markers to skip through this video. Let's just get into it. What is BHA? Well, BHA stands for beta hydroxy acid, and these are oil-soluble exfoliating acids. So they can penetrate the skin, get deeper into the skin. So not only do they help sweep away dead skin cells from the surface of the skin, but by penetrating deeper, they can also help regulate sebum production and essentially giving your pores a deep clean from within. So great for oily, congested, blackhead prone skin. Much like the majority of exfoliating acids, these also help even out your skin tone, help smooth out texture, and BHAs can also help calm inflammation and can really help calm down acne prone skin. So there are a few different types of BHA that you'll find in skincare. One of the most popular and strongest actually is salicylic acid. This is like the main character of BHAs here. It's the most popular. You'll see it in pretty much every BHA product. And I'll say from personal experience, this is probably the most effective. Mainly, as I said, it's the most powerful form of BHA. Another form that you'll see a lot of, especially if you are into K-beauty, is willow bark extract. And this is actually the form that I use the most for a few reasons that we'll discuss. This is a BHA that's extracted from plants, being willow bark, and is a much gentler version alternative to salicylic acid. Maybe. It gets a little bit complicated. These claims are made because studies have shown that willow bark contains salicin, which turns into salicylic acid when digested through the mouth, but there is very little evidence showing that this happens on your skin. However, it has been shown to be a great anti-inflammatory, and I have had very good results with willow bark extract, and as I said, it's still my go-to BHA to this day. The reason you'll see this alternative in a lot of K-beauty is because in South Korea, salicylic acid above 0.5% is only available at prescription or when you go see a dermatologist, all that kind of stuff. The other version of BHA is betaine salicate. Again, another very popular one, not just when it comes to K-beauty, but in general. Betaine salicate is a combination of betaine, a nice moisturizing ingredient, and salicylic acid. Again, this makes it another gentler BHA, and again, one of my personal favorites. So where does BHA belong in your routine? BHA comes in so many different forms nowadays, pretty much available in every step of your skincare routine, other than sunscreen, obviously. From cleansers, serums to moisturizers, all of which we'll be talking about today, but the most popular and the most common is an exfoliating liquid. I don't like call them exfoliating toners because toners are something else. So these exfoliating liquids go onto freshly cleansed dry skin. You leave it like a couple of minutes. You don't have to wait for it to dry down completely before moving on to your next step. Obviously, cleansers you use in the cleanser stage. You can leave it on for about 20 seconds. Studies have shown that actives in cleansers work well when left for 20 seconds on the face and then rinse away. Serums used in the serum stage, and moisturizers of course used in the moisturizer stage. Really, the serum and the liquid exfoliant stage is where I feel personally I get the most benefits because I feel like it's in its purest form. In moisturizers it's buffered a little bit, but cleansers and moisturizers are great places to start if you're new to BHAs. But if you are new to BHAs in general, just start with a very low percentage BHA or willow bark extract or betaine salicate, then move on to salicylic acid. You can work your way up from once a week to 3 times a week. There's no real need to exfoliate every day. Some of these do say they're daily exfoliants. You don't need to use that every day. You can combine exfoliants, AHAs, BHAs, PHAs, or all BHAs in one routine if you want to once your skin has built up tolerance, but again, there's no real need. One exfoliating product usually does the trick very well. And of course, use sunscreen alongside this. Whether you're using BHAs morning or night, you can use them whenever. Just be sure to wear sunscreen. Do you purge with BHA? Yes, potentially you may do, yes. I did very much so for like a month, I would say. Any product that's going to speed up cell turnover is potentially going to make you purge. It's going to make you break out. This can last anything from 2 weeks up to 3 months. For me, I would say it's worth the wait. I'll post a link in the description box down below how you can tell the difference between a purge and just plain irritation from some of my favorite dermatologists and cosmetic chemists over on Instagram. Do you need to use a BHA? You don't have to, but BHAs are great for those with acne, inflamed skin, very, very oily skin, excessively oily skin, and those prone to getting blackheads. Or with enlarged pores as well, so if that sounds like you, BHAs would be great for you. Should anyone avoid BHAs? If you have very dry skin, you may want to avoid BHAs and opt for an AHA instead, which we'll talk about now. You may want to avoid if you have rosacea as well, because it may cause that inflammation and that redness. I have mild rosacea, but again, when we go through the products, I'll talk about how I personally tend to avoid any kind of irritation. But it's up to you. It's up to you and how your skin reacts. You know, give a few products a go and see how it goes. Let's get into exact products that I absolutely love, and I think there's something for everyone within these products. Now, of course, these are only products that I've personally used and have had success with, so please feel free to add your favorites in the comments down below alongside your skin type so we can get a rough idea of what works for who. So into toners, let's talk about the most popular. This isn't it, but I'll talk about it in a second. It looks exactly like this. This is the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA Liquid Exfoliant, an iconic BHA product, and I guess like the most standard type of BHA liquid exfoliant you're gonna find. And I do prefer the term liquid exfoliant. I think they've got it perfect there, because a lot of people use exfoliating toners thinking toner is something you use every single day. This is a very simple product with a very impressive ingredient list. The BHA in this product is salicylic acid formulated with some lovely soothing, calming ingredients to help counteract any kind of irritation you might have. So we have green tea extract, which is an antioxidant, has anti-inflammatory properties. And this has a texture slightly thicker than water, but it's not greasy, it's not thick, it's not heavy, and it settles pretty quickly into the skin as well. So it works perfectly in even the most simplest of skincare routines. You're not waiting around for it to dry to move on to your next product. If you do want a dewier, glowier kind of finish to your skin, the Skin Perfecting 2% BHA Gel Exfoliant is a great option for you. All the same benefits as the liquid exfoliant, but this has a more, I guess, like thicker serum texture to it and leaves you with a really nice natural glow. But I know that isn't for everyone, so if you do like it, this might be the option to go for. I would say these still make a very good beginner's BHA if you use it once a week. And if your skin isn't easily sensitized by new products and new actives, then of course you can work your way up. Oh, very similarly, we have the Pharmacy Deep Sweep 2% BHA Pore Cleaning Toner. This again has salicylic acid as its BHA, but you also have AHAs and PHAs in here as well. So AHAs and PHAs working on that top layer, helping with uneven skin tone, adding a bit more hydration to the skin as well. I actually found this one a little bit more hydrating than the Paula's Choice, probably because of the sheer amount of humectants that are in this product. And as I mentioned, especially PHAs are great at retaining that hydration. But it's in a glass bottle, and I don't trust myself with glass anywhere, but I like them, but you know, this won't go in the bathroom or anywhere without a carpet. But again, a great one for those who are well versed with BHAs and have been using them for a long time. Another great exfoliating liquid is the BHA Blackhead Power Liquid from COSRX. An iconic K-beauty product, not just in the world of K-beauty, but for myself. This was my very first exfoliating acid ever. So as we mentioned earlier, this is a K-beauty product, so this contains willow bark extract and betaine salicylate, making this super gentle on the skin, so a great introductory BHA. And again, this is one of my go-tos right now because of my rosacea. It's so gentle, and I've always had amazing results with this. This also contains niacinamide, so an added little bonus alongside the BHA, helping to even out your skin tone, helping to regulate sebum production. And they actually use willow bark water instead of plain old water, because why not add those extra benefits, right? And that's something a lot of K-beauty do. They use like bamboo juice or birch sap water, things like ingredients like that instead of regular water, just to add in those extra benefits. And I feel like it also makes the consistency of the product that kind of fat water. Even as an introductory BHA, I would recommend using this once a week and then slowly working your way up to 3-4 times a week with something like this. I can personally use this every day. I don't, there's no need, but that's how gentle these products can be on your skin. On that same note, this is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. This is a hydrating and pore refining exfoliating liquid. A lot of people who use BHAs are often very oily, so if you are oily but you love that dewy glow, this is the perfect product for you. This has like a gloopy thickness to it that adds this instant natural looking glow to your skin without feeling oily or greasy. In Glow Recipe's own words, this product is inspired by Korean aquafacials that combines exfoliation with hydration, and again uses betaine salicylate and willow bark extract for gentler exfoliation. Again, a product you can use daily once your skin is used to it. I use this every night, but once a week, working your way up as a great introductory exfoliant. Next up, we have the cleansers, and there's only really a couple of cleansers that I genuinely like that didn't feel like they were stripping the skin in any sort of way, and I find that as an issue with exfoliating cleansers in general. So one of my all-time favorites, and ones I'm so sorry you're probably bored to death of hearing about, is the Inkey List Salicylic Acid Cleanser, but this is affordable and effective. This is one of my all-time favorite cleansers, not just exfoliating cleanser, but all-time favorite cleanser. This is great for when you're feeling super oily and just need that extra little dose of exfoliation. So for me, during the summer, this is a product I would use every other day, not quite daily. It's perfect for when you're feeling clogged up and congested and super oily. Of course, we have salicylic acid in here alongside zinc PCA. So again, perfect for regulating that sebum production, targeting those little pesky breakouts. And we also have glycerin in here as well. We have some soothing ingredients alongside humectants in here as well, so your skin doesn't feel bothered, it doesn't feel stripped. As I mentioned, a lot of people will question the effectiveness of exfoliating acids in cleansers, but in particular BHA has been shown to be very effective when left on the skin for even just 20 seconds. I've seen countless dermatologists mention how they will use cleansers to deliver actives to their client's skin who find other forms of delivery a little bit too sensitizing or irritating. We also have CeraVe Renewing SA Cleanser, probably the only CeraVe product you would have seen get a good review on this channel, and one I constantly use. This does leave me a little bit drier than the Inkey List product, not completely dry, still one of the better ones I've used, but this one contains niacinamide, no zinc PCA, but they both kind of target the same thing as far as helping with breakouts, acne, brightening that skin tone, helping regulate sebum production, and of course ceramides. It's CeraVe, they're going to be in there. So all in all, a really good cleanser for inflamed, acne prone skin. Also, I don't have this product with me because it comes in a pump and I leave it in the bathroom because I use this on my body. When I get breakouts on my neck, there's one here, there's one here somewhere. Where is it? Where's it gone? Whenever I get breakouts anywhere on my body, I will use this in the shower, and it does an amazing job at just cleansing my skin as well as targeting those little breakouts. However, I use so much of it in the shower sometimes, and then it's hard to get back in stock. I can't find it in stock at the moment. But both of these are great if you have easily sensitized skin or you're new again to exfoliating acids, and this is a great way to introduce them into your routine. We may as well include an actual body wash here. This is the Sun by Me AHA BHA PHA 30 Days Miracle Acne Clear Body Cleanser. I don't have it with me because I used it all up. But the BHA in here is actually salicylic acid. This is a Korean brand, and it's formulated alongside some soothing ingredients like centella, some nice emollients, and to be honest, I'm not thrilled by it. It's a good body wash, yes. It left me a little bit dry. It's not bad, it's nothing special, but it does the job well. I'm a little confused, so maybe you can help me out because I couldn't find any information, but this is a Korean brand, and they do use salicylic acid. I'm looking at the ingredients here and I can't see, so I'm guessing it's at 0.5% because 0.5% to 2% in South Korea is when brands are allowed to make acne fighting claims on their products, but you can't sell above 0.5. Do you know what I mean? So I'm guessing it's got that 0.5 in it. Let me know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Moving on to serums. I've not tried many exfoliating serums that I enjoy, mainly because I don't look for exfoliating ingredients in that stage. However, one of the serums I have used and that I really like, no surprise, is the Inkey List beta hydroxy acid. This contains 2% salicylic acid with 1% hyaluronic acid. So again, non-drying, it feels nice and plumping actually and quite hydrating. Compared to BHA toners I've used, this serum isn't tacky, it sinks beautifully into the skin and plays nicely with other products. Again, we have zinc PCA in here, a product that I'm growing to love more and more as someone with oily, pesky, breakout prone skin. So this really is a serum that I reach for when I'm breaking out, when I'm looking congested, really like large pores, really greasy, mainly in the summertime. This is always a good little serum to have on hand. Again, like the toners, this is a higher percentage BHA serum, so start once a week and work your way up if you need to. Moisturizers, I was again going to talk about more moisturizers with BHA in, but I've not liked any. However, moisturizers work really well with actives in general, not just BHA, but when you are new to actives, moisturizers can work as a buffer. What this does is it makes the ingredient less irritating on the skin. It may stifle the effects a little bit, but whilst you're getting your skin used to a new active, it's a great way to do things. This is how I personally prep my skin for higher percentage actives, avoid any irritation, especially on my rosacea. So I'll apply a moisturizer, put the BHA over the top. I don't do it with BHA anymore, but like retinol, I'd still do it with. And whilst toners don't work so great here, things like serums would work really well here. So there we have it, a little reintroduction to what's probably going to work best for your skin as far as BHAs go. Let me know your favorites in the comments down below. You can watch some more product recommendations reviews here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.